Greetings, viewers. Burly and Gaming here with,
Sadboygee.
and we're here to talk Terrifier, the ARTcade game. I had to pause myself just so I'd say it properly, because knowing myself, I would mess up the.
Yeah, I've been calling it arcade game just because I know that's like the word they were going for, but it's supposed to be a pun. I like puns, so I mean, I like it. I thought the title of the game is what sold me. Initially, if it would have just been called Terrifier, I probably still would have bought it because I'm a big fan of Terrifier. But whenever I
Yeah,
seen the extra name, I was like, oh, they're going all out with it.
yeah. Like when when this game came out, immediately when I saw stuff about it, I had to send it to you, and I was like, because I know you're a big Terrifier fan. I have not seen any of the movies. I've seen some clips from it from the third and second film up on YouTube.
Oh yeah. With that being said, it'll be interesting to see our perspectives because I mean, I'm a big fan, so I recognize some of the characters. I
Hmm.
will say, even though the movies, the thing is, with this game, I'll go ahead and get this part out of the way.
Hmm.
This game, it has some, I don't want to say it's lacking, but at the same time, there's not actually a lot from the movies, I feel like, in the game. It's like it does have references here and there, but there's not as much actual like this game's very different from the movies. I'll say that. I mean, there isn't really any fighting, and this is a beat 'em up, so that's the biggest
Hmm.
difference. But they do have the
Yeah.
gore, which is a big part of the movies, so they've got that part accurate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, this game is very gory, just like the film. So be fair warned. But it is like your standard 2D beat 'em up, but with a kind of Terrifier horror skin. And I'll give them credit; they do make some good little horror references as you'll go later in the levels. Like if you've seen some classics and some modern horror films, like they have a reference to The Ring. Seen those films, you'll get that. And I remember when, as I was playing through it on stream, I'm like, "Is that the girl from The Ring?"
They do have some
Mm.
really good horror references. Some of which I feel like it'll be nice. Like I would recommend this game mostly to people that really enjoy horror films and scary movies in general.
Mm.
Cause I feel like that's more like who it's directed for. I feel
Oh yeah.
like maybe for beat 'em up fans, I feel like just as a beat 'em up, I've played better beat 'em ups in all honesty.
Yeah.
But it has the cool like horror references, so it's kind of a like this or that kind of situation for me. If you like scary movies and stuff, then I could say this would probably interest you, but if you don't, I don't know how. I mean, we'll see how you feel about it. I don't know how people that don't play or don't watch these kind of films would enjoy this game per se.
I got enjoyment out of this, and I did receive the key through Lurkit and from the developers, so I appreciate that. But yeah, this fighting game, 2D beat 'em up, is very basic. One thing that I did not like is there is no point in picking up the weapon. I find the weapons don't do that much more damage to so and since they break quite easily in like 3 hits,
Yeah.
so there's no point in doing that because you just have your basic attack, your heavy attack, which will do a little bit more damage, you will notice, and then you have your special, and each
Hmm.
character does have their specials, and we're just switching here to the little girl character. She's the best character in the game. If you are wanting to beat the game and beat all the challenges in the game, pick the girl because
Yeah.
her special, that kick, you get quite a bit of it for every use, and you can hit quite a few enemies with it, and Just when, especially when you're getting against like 10 to 15 enemies at a time, you will come to love that kick.
Yeah, she's definitely the best character. I feel like the rest of them, I was kind of disappointed that, well, I don't know. In a way, I was kind of disappointed that the other characters just seem so slow. The combat in this feels kind of like not fair sometimes. I don't know if that's
Hmm.
just me. I don't play a lot of beat 'em ups, to be fair,
Hmm.
but I felt like the other characters, I felt like I would get ganged up on a lot because they're kind of slow and sluggish, whereas I feel she's a lot faster. And like you said, her special is
Hmm.
actually really good too. So she really made the game feel like more, in terms of difficulty, more like tolerable. Whereas like there was at least the blonde guy, I didn't like playing him. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
enjoy playing him at all, really. Art and then the girl, I can't think of her name up right now, but they were okay. But definitely the little girl's like my go-to.
Oh yeah. The little girl and Art are my two that I'm going to use. This girl here, she's not bad. Her special's not bad. Yeah, the guy with the blonde hair, who I've got footage in the end of the video here. He's okay, but he is only, hey, I tried him out just to try out.
Yeah.
Uh, try him out.
Well, the other thing about, well, okay, so this isn't necessarily a spoiler, but
Hmm.
that dude, he is from the movies,
Hmm.
but I don't know why they put him in there, to be honest, because he doesn't really have a major role. And, I guess I can kind of see why, because they wanted to make this four-player, and there's not really enough like characters in
There's
those movies to make four playable characters, so they had to get a character from somewhere. And since most of the characters in those movies are on the opposite side of Art, they had to find somebody to fill in that spot that would make sense, I guess. But even his character doesn't so much make sense. It's yeah. I appreciated that they found somebody though that could make the fourth character. I don't know who else they would have gotten or picked or put in there.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. That was something I was wondering, but I do love that it is like, because the third one is the tying in with the Christmas theme. A lot of the healing items are Christmas theme with the hot chocolate with the candy cane sticking out, milk and cookies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I felt that was a nice little thing. You have your standard story mode, and one thing nice with the story mode is if you lose all 3 lives, you have your credits at the bottom, and then when you go to use one of them pop back in, you can choose which character you're going to swap into. So if you're playing as Art and you're like, oh, I want to try another character, you can swap and do that, which is nice. And even if you lose all your continues, you get sent back to the menu, you load back in, but you'll have all your continues, all your lives, and you'll be at the last checkpoint in the level. So if you were at the last checkpoint before the boss on Act 3, for example, you're not losing too much progress. Just going back to the last checkpoint, which is nice, because if you're not the greatest at these beat 'em ups, you at least you can sit there and get through it by just taking your time.
Yeah. I actually never ran out of the credits. I didn't realize that's how it was whenever I was originally playing. I didn't realize that's how it was letting me respawn. I thought the game was just easy, I guess, and was just like letting me respawn. Not to say that I'm good
Hmm.
at these games. I was getting bullied a lot, but
Well,
I
you're a better
used
gamer than me. We all know that.
no, but I feel like a lot of these games I'll end up dying like that, and it's just kind of like not necessarily game over, but it'll be like, okay, you got to restart the level. I didn't
Mhm.
realize that it had the credits to actually carry you through. So that's cool to know. I think that makes it also better for like casual people too. Like maybe some people that are into scary movies and stuff but don't play a lot of games. That would
Mhm.
probably make the difficulty to this game more, like, tolerable for them. Because I can't remember
Mhm.
off the top of my head if it has a difficulty setting or if it's just one thing.
It is one standard difficulty, and there is no accessibility settings, just in case anyone is wondering. But overall,
Mhm.
the game I felt it's pretty fair on the balance. Though be careful on the sixth level when you're near the end of the boss fight, where I got stuck on, where the boss knocked me back on and there's like piles of enemies, but your character won't be able to get out, and I end up having to go back. You end up encountering that as well. When I was streaming
Yeah.
it, you
I
let me
was
know.
I was gonna say, that is one thing about this game I'd give a heads up to people. During the stream that I played this, I experienced, like, 4 different bugs where I had to restart a level, which I only streamed the game for, like, 2.5 hours.
Mhm.
I wasn't really expecting that many bugs. I think they might have updated it by now to
Well,
maybe fix some of that stuff.
there was an update as of yesterday, I believe. Was an update. I haven't gone back through the whole campaign to see if that got fixed, because that was the only bug that I had happen to me. Thankfully.
I might have also just been I would recommend to people too, if anybody gets this game, I'd definitely recommend, like, swapping characters, like, if you
Mhm.
do die and you have to use one of your credits, go ahead and give the other characters a try. I feel like it kind of freshens up the playthrough a little bit because
Oh yeah.
the combat's pretty basic for the most part. Like you said, the weapons feel kind of worthless, they're not all that great. And the guns, you would think the guns would be better, but they're pretty crappy usually, honestly, and whenever you pick them up, they usually only got, like, 4 bullets in it, and then it's like,
Mm.
it doesn't even kill anybody, so it's
Yeah,
just like, eh.
yeah, the guns are a chip because, like you said, 4 bullets. But a bullet isn't, it'd be one thing if a bullet, got them down to half health, or pretty much got them to that, like, just that small sliver of health.
Mhm.
That'd be one thing, but you don't get that with it, so it's like, yeah, not worth using. But one thing that just is an annoyance to me is everything is tied to the heavy attack button. So that's for picking up health, doing the finishers here that you're seeing, and picking up like the barrels here if you want to pick them up. So it's annoying because there are times when I was in fights, I was like, need to get the health, need to get the health. I'm pressing the button, can't get it because it's acting, because there's a weapon nearby and it's doing that, or if an enemy's close nearby with a finisher that could be done.
Yeah.
It's really weird of what it'll pick and do. It's like, why? Why are you doing this to me?
I think if they would've gave you more control and more options, and even just added some more, things you could do on the as far as your button layout and stuff, I think that would also help the game a little bit because it really is just like whenever I think back to it, aside from just like obviously walking and jumping,
Mhm.
you're really only hitting X and Y and
Yeah.
then right bumper if you're playing on controller. I don't know what it is on mouse and keyboard, but it's
Right.
basically just 3 buttons is your entire thing aside from walking. And then there's
Yeah.
obviously jumping, but I'm not gonna count that. It's just those are the only
Yeah.
2 things. I kinda wish you had a little bit more control. I feel like they had the opportunity to make stuff like that just a little bit different. I woulda liked the weapons to have been better. Uh,
Yeah. This feels, and I don't mean to be mean with this. This feels like this is kind of a first draft. It needed to be more fleshed out
yeah.
because
Yeah.
we've had other beat 'em ups come in the last couple of years that are more fleshed out and do more, and for close to similar pricing, and if not the same pricing as this. Like this was is like $25 on Steam right now, Canadian.
Yeah, it's like a $20 game here in the US. I would say also on that regarding that, unless you're into scary movies and stuff, I
Mhm.
personally would wait for the game to go on a sale just
Mhm.
because of its lack of I mean, it does have some cool things. It's got the different modes,
Mhm.
modes like wave and versus all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's got a little bit more on top of the like story mode,
Hmm.
but it's all really just the same stuff, just a different label on it, and maybe doesn't have an ending to it. I think they also have a boss wave or boss rush type
Yeah,
mode. I didn't get to play that one, but
yeah, you get.
I think it's just a little overpriced for the amount of content that you get because there have been better beat 'em ups like within the last couple of years. I like the TMNT ones; those ones are really
Oh,
good, and they have like really like they even have some levels that kind of spice things up because they don't play like the other levels. Maybe you're like climbing something or flying something or
you're on a
you're doing
vehicle.
something. Yeah, you're on a vehicle. This game, I kind of wish I don't know what they would have done, but I kind of wish that was a thing in this game too. They could have done like some bumper carts or something and have art like running people over or something like that. But there really isn't any variety. It's all kind of just the same stuff. You just beat
Yeah.
up people. They have like some random innocent people that you can try and hit for health. And then they
Mhm.
got like bigger, tall people that I feel like, in my opinion, are just so tanky. They just take forever to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like this is the wave mode. I got a bit into it and then it was just like yeah, and I did it I did it right after beating the main game and it's like okay, this just gets boring because you kill a couple enemies, go into the elevator, and the thing is you're not walking to the elevator. So if you kill the last enemy, you didn't pick the food item up, tough shit, you're going straight into the elevator and going to the next floor.
Yeah, I
So
seen that.
so it's like neat idea and good idea. I think just in execution, it needed a little bit more.
I agree. I would have liked there to have been more. Like I said, if you like scary movies, there'll definitely be some cool references for you.
Mm,
If you like beat 'em up games, you might enjoy it. I would just
yeah.
say either way, I've been anybody that's asked me, I've just been saying wait for it to go on sale. I I mean, I appreciate that. Also, shout out to you for buying me the game.
You're welcome.
Uh I appreciate you for paying for it, but yeah, it's one of those things. I still really enjoy it being a Terrifier fan. I just don't know that I would recommend it to everybody just because of the lack of what there is and the price tag that's tied to it. If it was a $10 game or
Yeah,
whatever that would be in Canadian, I
yeah.
could justify that because that's what it kind of feels like as far as the value of it. Because if you're not into scary movies, I feel like you won't even get some of the references, which is like part of the selling point with this game, in my opinion, anyway.
Oh yeah, like and for me that's hasn't watched these films. I am a horror movie fan. I like some of the winks and nods. A lot of it is kind of like okay, this is a little too much. Like I agree. This is not a you buy this on day one. This is a okay, it's $10 or less on Steam or on console. Yeah, yeah, go for it if you're a Terrifier fan. You like beat 'em ups. Yeah, just no. This is not a game you're gonna. If you sit down, you beat it in a two because you can do it in 2 to 2.5 hours. Beat the story mode. You once you beat that, take a break. This is not a game you are going to sit and want to spend 5 hours on your first night. You're gonna want to play a bit, duck out, and then if you want to go back, you go back and play more. Like, dude, don't be like me that beat the story and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna try the wave mode and it's 100 waves." I'm like, I don't have it in me to sit and do this, like because like it's sorry to say, but it just gets monotonous and boring. It's like you want to turn your brain off, and you're like,
Yeah, I've only since I played it that day, I've only played it one other time just to kind of see what the other game modes were like. I spent
mhm,
a little bit in each of them.
mhm.
I just wish there was a bit even if they would have had challenges like defeat a certain amount of enemies or something like that. I just
No,
wish there could have been more in there for as much as they're like charging for it.
I think the charging is because the license, because even though it's only Terrifier,
Yeah,
you're doing little winks and nods, so the licensing fees. And I will say the game does work on the Steam Deck. They do advertise it in the trailers with Art playing the game on the Steam Deck, so you can do that.
that's pretty cool though. I this would be a good game to play on the Steam Deck, I think, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Because
not.
if you're like on the go somewhere, you only have like a few minutes to really game or something. Something like this would be a pretty decent game, I feel like. There isn't too much to it and it's not an overly difficult game. So if you had to like if you got interrupted or had to go anywhere, leave or anything, it's not like restarting a level is all that like painful to turn off the game.
Oh yeah. And plus, you can put the Steam Deck into sleep mode and
Oh yeah,
just
that's
pause and
true.
do that too. Yeah. So yeah, it's not a bad game for on the go. But if you made me give this a score out of 10, I would have to go a 6 out of 10. It is above average, but not by much. And what gives it for me is the little horror references and the references they do, because they do put. I will give them credit there. They put effort in there, and I think they do a really good job in there. But because the combat is kind of basic, and there's just there's things you wish, like picking up the weapons, if the weapons were good, and then the whole thing of everything being taught, the heavy attack button for healing, finishers, and grappling weapons and items, it just makes it.
Yeah.
I have to take a little bit away from that.
I think I would probably also rate it a 6, honestly. At first, I was thinking 5, but I think you're right. I think they do some cool references and stuff, and I like the Easter eggs and nods and stuff. So as, like, somebody that likes
Mhm.
scary movies, and I kinda theme all my stuff around that and spooky stuff, I think I would give it a 6 because of just the extra effort that they did for that. I think if you like those kind of things, if you like the creepy stuff, then you can get some enjoyment out of it, especially if you take your time to actually look for all the things. Because there
Oh
was a
yeah,
couple of things that I didn't even notice. I didn't notice the ring thing initially. It wasn't until later and I seen it in somebody else's thing. And I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, there's another reference." There's just all kinds of they do have, multiple paths on there too, and the
yeah,
campaign I didn't check the other paths out, so they might even have more Easter eggs than what I seen. It might be worth checking out.
yeah. They do have other Easter eggs, and some of the paths will. This will have an Easter egg, but on the other one it'll have a credit token, so that way you can keep
Oh, yeah.
going longer. I realized that because like on one level, I think I died and I had to go back for the path before I started the second one of the pathways. So I was like, oh, let's check this, and notice that. Anywho, we'd love to hear from you all in the comment section. What'd you think of this game? Is it something you're going to pick up? Did you pick it up? Let us know in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much, G, for helping me out with this.
Thank you for having me.
Alrighty, we will see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.